Hank Rothrock, Stuart Academy, ELA Master Teacher, Engage, Empower, Educate. Me and Miss Howell had a follow-up conversation. I thought like Class Dojo had replaced Teacher versus Student. I was a little bit excited to have something else with praise and redirection. But then we talked about it, and she's still using Teacher versus Student, so I wanted her to discuss that and talk about that briefly. So here's Miss Howell,
Okay.
and yeah.
So yeah, I'm still using teacher versus student. What I do a lot is like, I'm not playing Class Dojo with a bunch of kids who are disrespectful to me, right? So you can only stand up there and like do -1 for talking so much, right? So if they're crazy, you're not still like clicking on their monsters and doing this thing for little kids. So I remind them like, this is for fun, Class Dojo is fun, but I'm not doing that with people who are like gonna be rude to me and just talk over me. So I'll go do teacher versus student. If they still don't want to do teacher versus student, I'll just do consequences. And then once I kind of get them back, I'll be like, oh, that was really good, and I'll get back on Class Dojo so I can use it more for positive. They're pretty good about, like, I'll click on their name, and they're out of their seat, and I'll hover over, like, the out of seat -1, and then they'll sit down. So I use that a lot to kind of do silent redirection when they're like, doing partner work, or I don't exactly need to say, like, hey, sit down. I can just kind of do a silent cue.
Okay. So like with Teacher versus Student, what's the big rewards?
The big reward is still the 5 minutes. So 5 minutes every day. So I tell them, like, I can't give you 5 minutes. I don't have a good way to gauge, like, if the whole class deserves 5 minutes to talk if I'm just doing points because 4 people are listening. So I still do teacher versus student when we're doing whole class work or when I have something up on the screen that I need to show, because otherwise I can't, like, get to the monsters to click on them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do they have the big reward with Teacher versus Student, like at the end of the week?
I do like 10 minutes of maybe free Chromebook time or free movie time, but a lot of classes aren't getting that right now. But that's okay. So yeah, I still do 10 minutes, and they still on Friday, they're like, it gotta be 10 minutes, like where's our time? So they want both. They want both.
And then with Class Dojo, I liked how you had the different levels of points, but you kind of also said that like they're not really going to the bigger items. So can you talk about that?
Yeah. So it's like 10 points, and I give you 2 Jolly Ranchers. And then 25 points is like an assignment pass. No, 25 points is 15 minutes of free time. And then 50 points is an assignment pass. And 150 points is Takis or hot fries. And like nobody is saving up for Takis or even the assignment pass. They're just immediately, as soon as they get 10, they're like, give me that candy. And then they zero out. And that's it, and they're back down to 0. So I'm actually saving money. I mean, I'm spending a little bit more on Jolly Ranchers, but compared to buying a bunch of hot fries, they're not playing the long game, which is very good for my wallet.
Okay, that's cool. And that was like instant gratification is kind of where we're at in middle school right now.
Right.
What about big consequences? If you could just talk about like you do phone program and that kind of thing. Could you just briefly talk about that, and then we'll wrap up?
Yeah, I just like keep them. It's really an advanced system. I get a clipboard, and I just write their name down, and I do like a tally. So I have one class that's like totally nuts, and I'll just take a tally every time. You know, step 1 is a conduct mark, step 2 is a lunch detention. When they get to 8, they get sent out. So that's 8 chances. So that's like a lot of chances. Most kids don't get to 8, but my class that's really nuts, I'm letting a couple of them, hey, you're at 7, we're about to go, and they're like, you know, that's not fair. And I say, okay, that should have been 8. Let's try one more time. And they do something, you know, to get sent out. And then I can send them out and I can say, I gave you 8 chances. That's nuts. But I do a lot of lunch detentions. You got to give up your lunch. But it's really good to do like a restorative thing of like, why were you screaming at me all class? Or, you know, I want to settle this between you and me. I don't have to get your folks involved. Like, I know you're mature enough that I can just talk to you. And then kids will be like, oh, yeah. And then they'll fix it. Sometimes I'll do like a contract in lunch detention where like, I need you to do this, and they'll write, you know, something they want me to do, and then we both sign it. And the next day in class, they're better.
Yeah, that's a lot of moves there. I like that.
Sorry,
so do you? No, it's good. Do you do the film program or not really?
Not as much. I've done it.
Yeah.
I did it last year, but I haven't actually done it this year.
Okay, so you rely on restorative practices, which is great. That one-on-one conversation. You give them a ton of chances up until, but they're all set. Like, where you give them these chances. Part of that's the lunch attention.
Yeah.
Where you actually bring them back, and that's your time that you spend
Right.
with those kids in lunch attention.
Yep.
And that's probably not fun. And then you have all these steps before you send a kid out.
Right. So
Yeah.
then I feel less bad about, I write this referral. I sent 3 kids out today, and I felt like, oh, that's a lot of kids. But I could write on every referral, like, gave him 8 chances or went through 8 steps of consequences. So
Yeah.
that's plenty. I mean, and the kid's going out 8 times, you have to say, be quiet. Plus, you've done teacher versus student and maybe also class dojo. Like,
Right.
that's enough.
You've tried, and
Yeah.
like
They
they've had
gotta know.
reasonable chances. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about big rewards and big consequences.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you for your time, Miss Howe. Can you give us the Stuart Academy way?
Engage, empower, educate every student, every day.
And then we're gonna do a little pan out. Oh yeah, on my finger, my finger's still there. Oh no.